And going around the world, I see the opportunity in Africa is much bigger than the opportunity that we see everywhere else. Where we lack is the vision and the commitment to make it work. And if the vision is there and the commitment is there and everybody supports and pushes in the same direction, there is no limit to where African carriers can go. Today, close to 80% of traffic from Africa to the rest of the world is carried on non-African carriers. And to me, when African carriers say, this airline, this other African airline is my competition, I laugh. How can you talk about competition on 20% of your revenue when 80% is taken by an outsider? So we should focus on regaining our share from the big market, not from the 20 market, from the big market. And we should support one another to do that.
I like that.
That is the way we should go.
Yes. You talked about a wet lease. First explain what's a wet lease, and maybe that's what you're talking about, states helping each other.
A wet lease means you go to another airline or an aircraft leasing company and you take the airplane with the pilot, with the cabin crew, and sometimes less cabin crew, and the insurance is covered by the owner of the aircraft, by the airline or the lessor. Maintenance is done by the lessor or the airline, and you just take the airplane, pay per hour, and cover your schedule with that airplane. The total operation, except the sales of seats and cargo on that airplane, is at the expense of the airline that is giving you the aircraft.
Yeah. But it's per hour.
You pay per hour. And it's not small money. It's big money.
Yeah.
You can negotiate. There is difference. But no matter what you do, it is still expensive. Because nobody will do maintenance at cost for you. Nobody will give you the insurance at cost. There is always add-on. Nobody will give you the crew at a salary that they pay. They still own. And then you have to pay a crew hotel also. So it is an expensive venture. But it is a venture that you will get to it when you have a temporary setback. When your operation is going to be disrupted, you try to support that operation and you get into this temporarily. It's not something that you take for a long time.
Permanently. And is it worth it?
It works for some time to save the operation. But the chances of making it profitable is slim. Whereas the other option is to dry lease, which means you take the airplane, you put your own crew on the flight, you do your own maintenance, you pay your own insurance, which will be less expensive for you, even though the aircraft is not yours. You only pay for the aircraft. That is a good alternative. But to do that, you need the pilots, you need the maintenance, and of course you can always buy insurance.
So, I mean, why didn't we go for this cheaper option then?
Yes, we will be going for this cheaper option, but there are a lot of things that will have to be there before you go for this cheaper option. One, the civil aviation of the country, the regulator of the airline, would have to certify that airplane. Today, the 737, which we are now wet leasing, or the A320 that we were wet leasing before, were not certified for operation in Uganda, in the Uganda airline system. You can wait list with the technical support of others, but you cannot yet take over because civil aviation has to be ready and has to accept the airplane. That will take some time. We are starting that process now, and our civil aviation is looking at it.
Yeah. So as we speak now, how many planes do you have?
As we speak, in number, we have 6 airplanes owned by Uganda Airline and 1 airplane on wait list from Ethiopian Airlines. But out of the 6 that we own, 2 are still grounded.
Right.
1 A330 and 1 CRJ 900.
Grounded in Uganda.
Grounded in Uganda.
That's an improvement. And
where was it supposed to be grounded?
well, it was grounded somewhere else. I don't know want to take him there. It was grounded somewhere else. Yes. So yeah, as I said, that's very good news. But now we've expanded the routes. Does that make sense?
What we are trying to do, we are trying to expand within Africa to start with. That is because if you first start expanding in long routes, the loss will be too much. One, you operate a bigger airplane, which costs probably $20,000 per hour to fly. And you don't also have the volume that you require to fill that airplane. Whereas if you grow in the region, if you expand in the region, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours flight, first of all, you go there with a lower capacity airplane, so the cost per hour is much less. And you collect traffic and bring the traffic into Entebbe and feed it into the long haul. So you have to create that mass in the region. That is why we are expanding into Kigali as of November, into Ghana in end of October, and into many regional airports in Congo, in Cameroon, everywhere around the region. Gradually we'll go, but for now we only added 2. We are only adding 2 immediately, but gradually we'll add more before we really expand into the international operation.
Yeah. Rwanda, I can understand, but do we have Ugandans and passengers going to Ghana?
Yes.
Well, you see, the concept have to be understood. No airline can fully depend on point-to-point traffic. What do I mean point-to-point traffic? On traffic between Ghana and Uganda only. Yes, that traffic is important, but you just can't depend on that alone. You have to depend on the traffic, for example, from Ghana going to India, from Ghana going to South Africa, from Ghana going to Harare, Lusaka, from Ghana going to Dar es Salaam. You have to channel them through Entebbe. That is the way you build the volume that you require.
Positioning. You call that positioning. So you're positioning yourselves.
Yes. And that connectivity is what an airline needs to be strong. I can tell you, you heard Emirates is carrying over 100 million passengers a year. Compare that with the total population of Dubai.
Yeah.
Total population of Dubai is nothing. But why is Emirates strong?
connection.
They connect people from Australia to North America to Europe to Africa to Asia, everywhere. That is the type of thing that we have to build. Even in our case in Africa, Ethiopian Airlines. Even in our case in Africa, Ethiopian Airlines, over 80% of the traffic traveling through Addis does not even see Addis Ababa.
I'm one of them.
That is how we should build.
Yeah.
And that is the concept we have to take and understand and work towards.
And Boeing? You signed up with Boeing?
Yes, we did. We signed for 8 airplanes with Boeing, 4 737 MAX, which will be delivered in 2032, all the 4, and another 4 787-9, which will be delivered to us in 2033.
Very positive. I want to put a political question to you because Honorable Lydia Wanyoto is in the studio, a minister. So if she wants a plane, she calls up and says, Grandma, I want a plane. And
I fly to Bali.
Yeah, I want a plane
to go and clean the city
to Nairobi, and I want the plane to wait for me. How are you combating things like that? How are you
we love our ministers,
yeah.
But if they buy a flight, a seat on an aircraft, on that ticket we show the departure time. They have to be there to meet that standard. They have to set examples for others. We cannot hold an aircraft for people because that airplane probably carries 100, 200, take A330, 258. One minister late, hold 257, it doesn't sound right. Even for the minister, it is no good. So we will not encourage that.
So you've not had the call saying,
No.
No.
Fortunately, no.
Fortunately. So we hope.
Yet.
Nobody asked me that type of thing.
Right.
And I have heard from ministers, they barely made it. But everybody kept their time. I have not seen one so far who says delay the flight.
Just 2 more questions from me. What's our technical capacity as of now? Engineers, pilots, cargo operations. How do we fare, for example, in comparison with Ethiopian Airlines?
It's not a fair comparison. It's not a fair comparison because this is an airline that is 6 years old and the other one is an airline that is 80 years old. In terms of pilots, we are not doing badly. There are a good majority of our pilots are Ugandan. But gradually, we will have to add more.
Yes.
And in terms of technicians also, we have some technicians. But having a technician is not enough. The technician will have to have the facility. Where can he maintain an airplane if you don't even give him a hangar? We don't even give him the tools. It will be difficult. But we are developing that. And fortunately, we have people who are doing their best to meet the requirement. And they are doing very well on the CRJ, for example. But we have, at the moment, we are using outside service for our airplanes. Gradually, we have to bring it in. Train more technicians, bring facility, build a hangar, and gradually do our own maintenance. But it's a good start.
Yes. I have one of my boys is one of your pilots. I'm very, very happy with him and his growth. The media, you had very poor media, poor publicity before you came in. Uganda Airlines was enjoying very bad publicity in the media. These wanderers here were writing things about...
The wanderers were promoting the interests of KQ.
They were quoting actual things.
Please say journalists, don't say the wanderers.
That's what we meant.
They are quizzing.
So all this bad, what have you done to combat it?
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
You see, we have to communicate enough. We are not communicating enough. We are not, let alone the media. I don't know if we have even been telling our own passengers that there is a delay on time. So we have to improve our own communication inside. That's one. Secondly, whenever the media requires information, we have to give honest explanation. If we are at fault, we should be able to say we are at fault, we'll correct. If we are right, and we should explain our point of view. I think we'll have to do more communication.
Very important.
Secondly, there are also things that we ask from the media. When there is a flight delay, the delay could be for a number of reasons. It could be a mechanical on the aircraft, which you have to delay because you cannot risk the life of people. So that has to be understood. Or for things beyond the airline's control. For example, today, 3 or 4 of our flights will be delayed. We know it. We are told by civil aviation that they will be cleaning up the runway. So they closed the airport for approximately 2 hours or so. That causes a delay. It is beyond the airline. We will try to keep delays within our control to the possible minimum. And when we do, we will apologize, we will communicate with people and tell exactly the reason for the delay. And the media, instead of just taking the word delay and putting it on a radio or a TV as if it is something that only happens in Uganda Airline, will not work. Uganda Airline is not an airline of the employees only. It is an airline of every Ugandan. So all of us have to be very responsible with what we are doing and try to understand
we do.
And explain properly.
Let me put to you, though, that sometimes it's self-defeating, sometimes it's infighting, you yourselves. How are you managing that?
Well, you see, unfortunately, when I came, I don't know the reason. I don't know why. Who caused it, I don't know. But I see a completely divided management team. Completely divided. Going in different directions. Suspicious of one another. From the very day I said we are a team. We should work as a team. If there is anything we don't agree with, say it here. Let us discuss it and solve it. But please work as a team. I see still there are people there and people outside who would like to really spoil the name of the airline. This is short-sightedness as far as I am concerned. The airline belongs to the employees, to everybody. And if they have a fight to fight, they should fight it outside and leave the airline alone. That pulling one another down, I think that psychology, that psychic has to get out of the company. And we'll work towards that.
Thank you. Edgar, you've been quiet, writing copious notes. just after my welcoming Honorable Abdul Katuntu, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, most welcome to Gang.
Thank you, Oscar. It was good coming in and listening to
Gama.
What is I was listening to
Wake.
radio. Ato. What is
Wake.
Ato is Mr.
Yeah. Ato Mr.
But his name is Garma.
Garma.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounce it well.
Yeah,
Right.
don't worry about. If I were to try yours, maybe I would spoil it more. So it's okay.
So Edgar, go on.
I think, in all honesty, addressing the CEO as Mr. would be disrespect to him. I prefer calling you Muzei. Muzei. I hope you know what it means in East Africa.
Yes, I know.
Muzei Wake, I'm humbled to be in your presence and listening to wisdom and valuable experience in the aviation industry. Before I entered, I had an opportunity to chat with him, and I reminded him of our interaction when he was still at the helm of Ethiopian Airways. We were involved in the export of meat products to the Middle East, and he texts a CEO and he texts you back, calls his country manager to come and meet you. Those of us who have lived long enough in this country, you know how difficult it is to get the CEO, and particularly the one he replaced. We come from the same locality, and we had interacted when we were younger. But when the person became CEO, it became very difficult to reach her, even where you had advice for her. So it's very refreshing to have such a name at the helm of Uganda Airlines, and he's been very open. He's been very open and told us these are the issues that we have, these are the problems that we have, but this is what we are putting in place to address the problem. So, and more importantly, he's talked about management. Mr. Katuntu, Honorable Katuntu, you'll agree, you've gone through many processes of establishing your own law firm, growing it, managing human beings in parliament as chairperson of many committees. A manager is one who achieves results through what? Other people. So if you are very repulsive, if you are very combative, you're likely to break a team rather than build it. So it's refreshing to hear that we have a person at the helm and the biggest problem indeed at Uganda Airlines has been the personnel, the human resource, has been the leadership. Now that we are sorting that out, the rest we can give supportive. But more importantly, I'd like to raise a few issues in route expansion, route acquisition and expansion. There are big markets within this region. I don't think we are tapping into critically. The DRC, yes, we do have a scheduled flight to Kinshasa, although it's now suspended because of Ebola. But there are some cities, if you acquired the fifth freedom rights, you pick passengers from Bunia, Beni, or Goma onto Kinshasa. You'll be able to fill maybe up to 70%, and who knows, even maybe higher for those seats that you sell on those routes. Then Burundi is still underserviced, Bujumbura, because they don't have a national airline, and they are overwhelmed by numbers. Because I have an office in Burundi, in Bujumbura, and I used to travel there on a weekly basis. So there's a part of DRC that is not serviced at all by international airlines. That is South Kivu and Tanganyika, and they all converge at Bujumbura, and many times making connecting flights to places like.
But Uganda Airline goes to Bujumbura.
Yeah, it goes to Bujumbura,
Yes.
but I'm saying it's underserviced.
Okay.
They send the CRJ and sometimes the cargo. On many occasions, we've had our cargo, our luggage, even where you're a priority passenger, left. But there's a very good customer care gentleman you have there. I'll tell you when you get off the show. He tries to put up a good. Sometimes he routes it through KQ in Nairobi to get us in time. But many times it's overbooked because of the passengers coming from Tanganyika provinces and South Kivu, and many times even the cargo. The CRJ, I think, takes only about two tons, two tons of cargo. That really can't sell. And it's also the same the same challenge you have with Kinshasa. The cargo is not enough. And having said that, the handling on arrival at Entebbe Airport, when you, especially there's that Burundi, the Bujumbura flight that comes in the morning. When it also arrives at the same time with the one from Dubai, and I think also from Johannesburg. Now, you spend 50 minutes in flight, then you spend 2 hours. To get your luggage. Mr. Musei Wake, please do work on that, because it doesn't add well for business. Spending 2, and let me tell you, and there are only 2. What are these? The checking points as you're getting out. They're also extremely slow, and our customer care has never been the best, especially for some of these people holding public positions.
But you realize that's CAA, not Uganda Airlines.
You see, they must be supportive.
Yeah.
They have to work hand in hand. This is the aviation industry, and I'm a Ugandan who consumes the services, and I'm putting it out there. So I think you have few personnel handling luggage on the ground. It's very critical. Then, talking of that, every airline has a lounge for its what? Priority customers. Quite frankly, it's heartbreaking that you go to other cities. You go to Bole, you go to which are the other connecting hubs?
Nairobi,
JKIA. You see, you go to Kilimanjaro, you go to Julius Nyerere International Airport. You find Air Tanzania, very nice lounge. Very nice lounge for its priority customers, and particularly and priority customers. I'm not just talking of business class and first class. There are people who are supportive. There are people who are supportive of Uganda Airlines. You really need to give a what? For instance, we gangsters, you can give us access to them. We give us access to. So we need to have that supporting infrastructure for Uganda Airlines, but also we must be honest with ourselves, especially these quislings of the Monitor and its sister paper, The Nation, that have been promoting KQ by giving negative stories of Uganda Airlines.
Stop pointing at me. I'm going to sue you.
I'm a lawyer. I'll hire the best lawyer.
You will plead justification.
Justification. Yeah. So we have to be honest with another. Tell Ugandans that Uganda Airlines is not going to make profit in the short run. It's not going to make profit in the short run. Tickets don't really bring profit for airlines. So we have to develop, we should make it known to Ugandans that the airline is a supportive, it's like infrastructure. It's like building a road. Some roads don't have economic return, but nevertheless you have to improve connectivity between cities, between towns, and also for political reasons. So it's supportive of tourism, it is supportive of trade, it's even diplomacy. When you're opening a route to Ghana, you are facilitating movement of public officials. We are supporting the movement. He was in the Pan-African Parliament, supporting movement. So I know you want me to get off, but there are 2 other things I need to raise. Your leased aircrafts. The times I've flown on your leased aircraft, I've found the service really first class. I mean, the cabin crew, the speed, the customer care they give you.
The wet one or the dry one?
The wet one.
I'm talking of the wet one because the wet one comes with the crew as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we've been told that dry lease is not yet possible in Uganda, but generally speaking, Uganda Airline service is very good.
It's very good. It's very good.
Wet or owned.
But the local staff have to be benchmarked against those ones on the wait list. Believe me, Ugandans, for some reason, especially ladies, they don't make eye contact. I think it is a cultural thing. Here, I think
you are the teachers.
When a lady, I think when you look at them, but those ones, believe me, the service there is first class.
I want to go to Edgar. Yes.
Yeah, they're very.
So you want an eye contact?
Yeah, eye contact.
Than the service.
Customer service.
Than the service.
Eye contact. So then, very lastly, Sorority Flying School. Musei Wake, you've talked about your experience at Ethiopian Airways, how you were able to grow it to the fleet that you have. it was only because you developed local capacity. You had your hangar, you had your flying school. So, in your plan,
Edgar,
is something that can even be presented
to think about.
More
yes.
funding to Soroti flying school.
Derek Wande on
have
microphone.
more locals flying.
Getting Edgar off a microphone.
I know.
You'll come back.
It's
Don't sound selfish.
it's very, very an interesting topic to speak about. But I will start from the high. I think I've flown quite enough to make distinction, and I will give credit to Uganda Air in terms of landing in Uganda in that Bombardier is the best. Don't bring KQ, don't bring Ethiopian Airways, don't even bring Etihad. It's the best.
I have not thought about that.
You need to. You need to. I think, like Musei said, talking the story Uganda Air is not just his job or the job of Shakira or the job of the cabin crew or whatever. It's an entire job for all of us as Ugandans. I get a little bit disappointed when Edgar here is pointing at me and saying that I've been promoting KQ. I don't think so, actually. I would prefer to sit in my Bombardier any day, any time, rather than sit in a KQ, and I have my own reasons. But you know that we need to also be very, very, particular in how we address some of these matters. We know that Uganda Air is a growing and probably one of the youngest in the region in terms of business of flight. You can look at, KQ that has been here for quite a number of years. Probably we're making 7 or something like that. We have I think enough time. We have a lot of room to improve on so many things, so many mistakes that we've encountered. We've been pointing out issues of internal fights and stuff like that. As a journalist, you be there, and someone from within, probably even a cleaner, is sending to you an authentic document or an internal memo. Oh, this one was fighting this one was fighting that, and then you run around and do your double checkings and stuff, and the story is adding up. So do you throw the story or do you publish the story? So those are some of the issues that need to be addressed, the management issues at Uganda Air.
You've spoken a little bit about it, because previously the infighting was spilling out.
Absolutely. It was spilling a lot, and I good enough, I've kept quite in good contact with Uganda Air through Shakira, and I know that you have a very, very good PR manager, and you need to look at so many issues, especially when it comes to communication. I'll speak on the side of journalism. You see, I think the media is going to play a very huge role in promoting our airline. It's going to play a very huge role. I want you to take advantage of the media houses, media practitioners, but even individuals that can come out and explain these matters explicitly. There has certainly been a vacuum in terms of communication, in terms of how much information is released. For instance, even when you talk about the delayed, flights, when are they communicated? How are they communicated? How much information gets out there for someone to understand why this flight has delayed? I think that's an area that needs improvement. Even if it were there, probably that because of the infights and stuff like that, you don't have even enough room to bring out as much information. I know for sure, I've been talking to some people within. You are not even sure whether what I'm going to bring out in terms of communication is going to land me into problems. Communication is key. Let's use the available means of churning out information to make sure that the biggest problem has been lack of information. That someone will land onto something very small because they lack information, because there is no context at all, they will run with it.
Nature hates vacuum.
You get. They will run with it. And before you know, it's getting onto the wrong side of our airline. And I think this is one thing that you and the PR department and whatever need to look at very importantly. Because I have had quite a number of a lot of information. In the newsroom, there are sometimes when I have had to talk to my fellow writers or journalists that, okay, yeah, you're going to write about this thing. Very good. You have the information. But if you actually go to the context to this story, you might actually think otherwise in the way you're going to write it. Probably you're going to change the angling and whatever. So,
you censor yourself.
That's not censoring. That's being responsible.
But I like that they are reaching out.
That's being responsible, and I'm told to do responsible journalism. I'm not told to do anything. No, it's not about being negative or not. It's just being factual, and realistic. You get. So it's not being.
Don't be diverted by Edgar.
So
so
the issues that I want to point to, one question is. So what informs your decision to go for the Boeing other than any other? Well knowing they have had also their own downfalls and stuff like that. Where are we changing from Bombardier? But I also know the context within within Bombardier, very hard to sell in terms of customer appreciation and stuff like that. Those are some of the issues that came up quite earlier. But also, I want you to think and talk about the issue of domestic flights. It's very, very disheartening that if you must travel to Arua, which is about 8 hours on road from here to Arua, and you have Arua to Kampala, you have a patient who has only 1.5 hours to die, you will have to, or to live, you will have to just surrender that life. If we had, those domestic flights that a matter of minutes and
affordable.
Affordable. And
is it Eagle Air flies to Arua?
Yeah,
the cost.
They are, but the cost, work on the cost.
Thank you, Derek.
Improve on, increase on the number of vessels and stuff like that. And I think we shall be good to go.
Well, Honorable Lydia Wanyoto, you've written notes as well.
Yes.
So now Minister, don't go to Uganda Airlines and make it wait and be a passenger like all of us.
I want to thank Mr. Gama for coming to the Capital Gang, and for also saying that you like us so much as ministers. But I want to agree with you that discipline is very important. It has nothing to do with the status. And when you're running a very important institution like an airline, it's business. So the image of that airline, the business, has nothing to do with the status. You have to align yourself to the norms and business transactions. And it would make us proud, even as ministers or as government, to align ourselves to the good culture of methods of work and discipline to an airline, and then promote it to make sure that we deliver, and also run it as our commercial arm of government, but also tourism. One of the reasons why Uganda Airlines was revived recently, not a long time ago, despite the cost, because everybody was like, it was a very huge government undertaking, but we said, let's do it. One of the reasons was to promote tourism of our country, to promote our self-governance and sovereignty and pride. So it is up in the air, and very many people are very passionate about it, because we wanted Uganda to be in the air, to promote our nationality and sovereignty, national pride, but also tourism. And this links to government's current priorities. We are saying that to grow our country's economy to tenfold, the 500 billion in 2040, tourism is number. It's ATMs. It is number 2. There's agriculture, agro-processing, and then the next one is tourism. Now, tourism is a twin sister, a twin brother to the airline, the travel. So I want to agree with my colleagues that if there is a way in your policy and programs to also promote domestic flights, because it will also speak to Ugandans, building the nationalism and patriotism we're talking about when they see our local flights under Uganda Airlines. And our country is also promoting domestic tourism. So we have Ugandans like Honorable Katuntu here, and I think also Edgar, but I know also Oscar. He's a very good holiday maker. He likes going for holidays. So if you could put some local flights, they would be happy to. These are the middle class. You see them here, but they're the middle class of our country. They would love to travel by air to the national parks and to make sure that it is affordable but also exciting. The Uganda Wildlife Authority, UWA, and other stakeholders are promoting open park days. The first one, Oscar, let me give you this because you're a good holiday tourist maker. Is on the 25th to 27th of September.
Probably
just
in the
next
studio,
month.
I have flown Uganda Airlines the most.
So
Probably in the studio.
yes, but I'm talking about.
Okay.
We are not going
Let's
to.
not go on that pass.
We shall.
Abdul goes to
But the
South
issue is
Africa, but I
that
don't know if he goes to
the
Uganda
national
Airlines.
parks, Oscar, they are promoting open day parks. You can now go to any park from the 25th to 27th of September. I think it's going to be an annual event. That's why, because they must deliver the tenfold growth as a core priority sector. So, as you deliver for us a very difficult task, including building the capacity, the local capacity, we want to see it homegrown, beginning home. Let's fly Kidepo, Karamoja. Let's fly Renzori. We have the Renzori Marathon coming up on the 21st. Would have loved to see flights landing in Kasese, so that we own this. And when we own this, it will even speak to the workforce, because when they realize this is our thing, it will not be artificial. So it will be homegrown, and the eyes will be on to ensure that our flights work. And it's also going to augment the local transport, the traffic jams. If you have tourists being locked up in the national cleaning days, they are locked up in the traffic jams. If there's a small flight, they will not be part of this problem. They will fly to the parks. Fly to Elgon, Mount Elgon. I come from Mount Elgon, Bugisu sub-region. They fly to Elgon, and that would be very, very exciting. And in a way, we'll be also supporting our own local travel, but improving the local infrastructure. My colleagues have talked about the training arm, Sorority Flying School. We've been planning and campaigning for it to be the best school in this African community, a center of excellency. But having a flyer like Uganda Airlines can also give us the justification to build our center of excellence for training.
They've started assisting
for also maintenance, because I think maintenance is one of the core issues. If you cannot maintain an airline, if you cannot train the local staff, then you have no business being in the air, because it starts from home. So I thought that I should make those contributions, but let you know that our number 2 country's priority for the economy is tourism, and tourism ties to the transport, which is also the airline.
As we're going to stop for a break, and we'll have Girma still on the show for a little while. But there's a message here from Dennis Orache. Fits in very well with our second topic. Abdul, do you want to read that message over there?
Oh, you want me to?
Yeah.
Let me bow the eyes.
No. You go ahead.
Okay.
This is the Mwalimu at work.
Oscar.
Be louder for the microphone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oscar, there is this waitress on Uganda Airlines that refused to serve me beer, that the journey is too short. This annoyed me, and I have changed it to KQ. At least I can taste some drinks on my flight. Tell those people that we need beer, irrespective of the condition. And he is Dennis Orach.
And the discussion
Did you have to,
is about alcohol.
Musomesa, did you have to tell me to read the things about beer?
Capital Gang on 91.3.
NBS Tonight.
Farmers have harvested and producers have products, but finding the right buyer remains a challenge.
You need to set up these regional production centers.
What if the buyer was brought closer to you?
These are the public cry that now they want to work with us to find solution. We are doing more like a public-private partnership.
And do you have what it takes to win that market?
The second thing is how much we don't pay attention to standards and compliance to standards.
Tonight on Business Perspective, we explore the opportunity. I am Isabella Tugumu.
MTN voice bundle. Ay. Load. Hey. Hello, Mama. Hey, it is me, your son, Opio. Hey, now, Mama, listen to me. MTN has the offer. Yes, it has the offer. You load from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Now, they have free MTN to MTN minutes. And those minutes are there all day. So you load, you'll thank me later. Hey, Mama.
Load an MTN voice bundle between 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. and get 3 free MTN to MTN minutes valid all day. Dial *100 *21# and get your free minutes bully daily. Free your fire with free minutes from MTN. Together, our connection is unstoppable. MTN.
Too many ads? Expensive subscription? You deserve better. And artists, thousands of plays, but nothing to show for it. This ends now. Introducing Yugatunes, the new home of your favorite music on Afro Mobile. Listeners, stream your favorite songs ad-free at no cost. Artists, earn from every stream. Withdraw your royalties anytime from as low as 20,000 Uganda shillings. This is music that pays off. This is music that belongs to you. Yugatunes, your sound, your stage, your reward.
ukutaha muri mitwa leta VIP mitwaro 20 debos miliyoni 3 hamwe na nitane z'abamazireyo kumanya bukitiraho tera 0 50 50 nkaga ninda bishagikirwe.
Live concert. Yes, Grace Nachimela. Grace Nachimela coming on
kusitaji murudamu uliza kumina lumu September kumepira bilu mukaga Kampala Serena Hotel agenda jongoloza kumitwalo kuminetano habanakira kumusasura kuminezatu emeza ya milioni satu hakuyimbira nyimba zezona habamutegera bamutegera habatamutegera mutegera kubamutegera wakuba kusitaji nenjuju after that kumina lumu September kumepira bilu mukaga Kampala Serena Hotel kumitendo amusente Pepsi French Supermarket Rose Farm Fenon Serena Hotel NBS TV Senyuka TV You Got Tunes kama yembiwa Feed the Streets Foundation.
Join renowned Pan-African Bishop Joshua Maponga Marara III from Zimbabwe as the keynote speaker at the 9th Pan-African Pyramid Global Awards 2026 and 12th anniversary dinner to be held on the 29th of August 2026 at Munyonyo Speak Resort from 2 p.m. The theme is honoring the humanitarian legacy of Comrade Rajiv Ruparelia. Book your dinner card now on 0757 342 317 or 0782 342 317. This is the true awakening of African Renaissance. Come, let's rekindle our roots. Africa, don't agonize, organize. Powered by
Kampala Serena Hotel Friday ngabiri mu mwezi guno gw'omunana Strong Woman Live Strong Woman Live Irene Namatovu wamaze okufuna tiketi yo oba muli batono ninga mwagala kutula ku meza kuba noti musanvu noti mukaga tano mukaga satu biri mwendemu obasasulira ku Airtel Merchant Code nyiga star 185 star mwenda hash Merchant Code erinyanya biri nyamwenda satu mukaga tereka bulungi message yo kusimu ati ya tiketi yo ku mulyango eno togeza logisibwa Strong Woman Live Irene Namatovu ku Serena Hotel ewagindwa
Airtel.
Every morning, Uganda wakes up to the stories that matter. From breaking news and top headlines to the conversations shaping the national agenda, NBS Morning Breeze brings you the voices, facts, and perspectives you need to start your day informed. Politics, business, social issues, current affairs, live interviews, real debate, insightful, engaging, and afraid. This is where the day begins, where leaders are questioned, ideas are challenged, and Uganda speaks. Wake up to Uganda's most engaging morning conversation. NBS Morning Breeze, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m.
NBS, always.
Back from the break. I am Oscar Semwe on the Capital Gang. Honorable Abdul Katuntu is coming on microphone. You can follow us. You can follow us on Capital Radio or NBS TV. Abdul, we've had this argument in the break, and we're saying sometimes the airline itself would press self-destruct.
Yes, and you know, sometimes it's good to be patriotic, as everybody is saying around the desk. My sister Lydia calls it national pride and so on. But when I walked in, Muzei was talking about, you know, to be candid with each other. That's the only way you can grow a business. And if we don't sometimes shout ourselves hoarse about the mistakes, then they grow and they become big challenges. But listening to you, it is the first time. I think there's a fresh air. There's a fresh air. Sometimes people who manage institutions fail them or grow them. Oscar, one time I had a meeting with the president when I was chairperson of Commission, Statutory Authorities and State Enterprise. And we raised one issue about management of the state enterprises and commissions, one subject came up that the sort of boards they appoint to manage, to oversee these institutions, sometimes we get job seekers. They are not value additions. If you are going to manage a very complex business enterprise like Uganda Airline, then you need a value addition. Somebody who has an idea about an airline. But if you have been managing waiters in a hotel and tomorrow you are the AD of this a national airline, it becomes a big challenge. So
be nice, Abdul.
Oh yes, let me try to be.
He's very polite.
And when I listen to him, where he has worked and so on, if the country is really expecting some dividend, so look here, this is value addition to this institution. And you see, an airline is very, very complex. For example, because of its capital investments, private sector runs in all businesses, but there are very few people in aviation. Why? Because it's a very complex industry. Even when you look at the big three on the continent, other than Ethiopia, the rest have struggled to keep afloat. Whether you're talking about KQ, I'm sure you've been following the challenges they've been having. South Africa has collapsed, I don't know how many times, and every time they are putting in public money. Why? Because the industry itself, when you read about it, aviation industry, the profits is rather thin. Very small. Very, very rather thin profit. So if you're expecting Uganda Airline to make tons and tons of money, billions and so on, you have really to wait. We just continue putting in money until maybe it really takes off. I have seen they are looking far ahead. They are, in the next 7 years or so, they have been buying aircrafts. Because aircrafts are not bought at the shelf.
You place an order.
I was in Seattle at the Boeing place. They manufacture an aircraft with already its logo behind. It's Uganda Airline, and they start with the tail to go on that assembly line. So by the time they start putting those things, it has been bought, and money some of it has been paid. So that's why they're telling you that they are expecting aircrafts in 2030, 32 or something like that. Because orders are coming from all over the world. And now they can say, okay, you 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, and so on. But we have already paid. I think how much have we so far paid? Almost... the pre-delivery. Yes, we've already paid. Over 200 or more than around $300 million already paid. But this is money which you don't expect to get profits within the next 3, 4, 5 years. So as we ask for accountability, we may not, let us not ask accountability of money. We ask accountability of the service itself. How is this airline growing? I'm happy. People who complained about the staff, they are not all that very bad. I travel a lot, and Uganda Airline has always been my first choice airline if I'm going to a destination where it flies. And government has taken a firm decision that if any government official is flying, the agent should be able to provide the Uganda Airline ticket, except to a destination where they are not. That's when you start now looking around. That firm decision. That alone, I think it gives you, because these government ministers, these government MPs, these ones, they travel a lot. It's not a very bad business if you are really transporting government officials. Then you have business people. Business people, what they want is, one, are they going to depart on time, arrive on time, and a little bit of service. That's all.
And sometimes for the business community, the luggage allowance, the
kilograms. The kilograms. And that they know. You know, those business people, no, but you're not, some of the, if you want other luggage, it comes as, for example, as cargo, if you're a business community. But they needed the allowable luggage, the 23 two-pieces pieces. So I think I can assure you that Uganda has that goodwill. And we seem to have found a good manager in you with all your experience. So what we expect is you to transmit that experience to your local staff, such that within 3, 4, 5 years, we are some sort of an Ethiopian airline.
Grooming local talent.
Yeah, because you see, Ethiopian airline is not a pride of Ethiopia. It is a pride of Africa. Much as pride of Africa is on another airline. But if you really want to talk about pride of Africa in aviation, it is Ethiopian. And if we can have that as a target, the money the airline will make later. What we want is our national carrier, flag carrier, all over the place.
Okay.
As I end, she provided a good service. Sometimes if those speakers of those institutions, parliaments of the Commonwealth, are flying in either in Nairobi or what. By the way, we can fly to Entebbe and then take to where? Go to Nairobi and so on. That's how we promote an airline. Because an airline, Oscar, it's not about, of course, we are saying, tourism, we need local flights here and so on. Sometimes that's not very good business for these airlines. All of us go through Addis. Why? We are connecting to other places. The entire world. We go through Dubai, but we don't go beyond the airport. But you are going to Switzerland, you fly with Emirates to Dubai, and off from Dubai to Switzerland. That is how you grow an airline, and that's how it makes money. And I'm sure with him, he knows this thing more than anybody else. So let's see if you'll make us proud.
Yeah. We had mooted an idea for Uganda Airlines to code share or some partnership with the Emirates. I don't know where that discussion disappeared to.
Okay. Ato, Germa, Wake, back on the microphone. What do you take from this discussion? How do you respond?
I had a lot of encouraging comments, and I have also received very good questions that I should explore.
Social media is liking you. There's a gene dynamics that says this is how someone who knows what he's doing speaks. No defensive face saving, just actual industry facts.
Thank you.
However, I fear politicians will hinder him.
Okay, let me comment on some of the things. Domestic flights. The first time I came here, and we were talking about what to do, which airplane to keep, which airplane to get rid of. Everybody was annoyed with CRJ maintenance. No, we'll keep the CRJ, because the CRJ is what you need for domestic operation. I said, this country, neighboring countries have the big five. Wildlife. This country has 7. The big 5 plus 2.
Plus 2. Eps
and nobody has 7. Nobody has 7. So the tourism potential of this country is not only the number of tourists who come here. If we do it right, we can even attract some of the tourists that are going elsewhere. And I will mention one thing that I know for sure. People go to Rwanda to see gorillas. They drive 2 hours to reach the gorilla area. The gorillas are limited, but they give it a proper attention. Tarmac road to the place. Good hotel at the place. So what happens? People pay $1,500 to see the gorilla. Uganda has more gorillas
than Chigaf.
But to reach the gorillas, you have to go by surface 11 hours. In a country that they don't know, tourists find it difficult to really venture, unless they are really adventurous, for an 11-hour road journey. So my suggestion, and I've been talking to our minister also, I said, look, build an airport in those areas, and we will be the first ones to fly to these points.
Wow.
So and you don't have to build a sophisticated airport. You build fair length runway, a small tukul, clean, with coffee, with bathroom. Don't even imitate international terminal. Build something local that will look like the place, and you will attract a lot of tourists. A lot of tourists. This is one. Number two, these CRJs gradually will be entirely for domestic. That's our intention, and we'll do that. As soon as we get a replacement for them in the regional flights, we will use them for domestic. Soreti Training School. By the way, I was in Soreti on Wednesday. I went to visit it. Why did I go there? In our negotiation with Boeing, we said we are not only buying an airplane, we are buying something more than an airplane. We want support to develop our infrastructure. We need support to build capacity. And we said we want an internal capacity. There is a school called Sereti, where most of the pilots, most of the technicians in East Africa were trained. Let us revive that. And they agreed. We even asked them, allocate money for this. They allocated money for
Boeing?
this.
Allocating money?
Boeing
Smart.
allocated money.
Smart.
Giving them equipment, giving them tools, giving them even curriculum help.
Wow.
So, since I pushed Boeing, I said, let me see what the school looks like. So I went there. I was pleasantly surprised. Very good facility.
Yes.
And when I went there, they were graduating 8 students. 5 from flying school and 3 from engineering. And I said, I'll take all the 8, even though I have no budget, because I need them for tomorrow. And they told me they have financial problem. Said, we all have to work together to get you more. I said, I even get you trainees from outside to come and be trained here, so that you can build. Because with my contacts, I will be able to do that. So we are trying to build Soreti. My next mission is to take Boeing people to Soreti, show them, and get them to commit to support the school. So that is one. And I tell you, if everything works for me, the next 5 years graduates, all of them, I want Uganda Airlines to take them. Because I don't want to start with people who are already twisted. It's better for me to get fresh mind from school. Fresh mind from school and mold them to build the airline in a way that we want. That's what we do in Ethiopian Airlines. There is no other way to get out of this. We are working on that. The communication, yes, I hear you 5 by 5, loud and clear. We will communicate better, and we will make it part of our job to communicate to the media and really keep people informed. The other is tourism. Even though I touched on it a few minutes ago, I believe when we expand our route, there are things that we take into consideration. We would say profitability does not come tomorrow morning. But I am one of those people who came from a different school. An airline should be able to stand on its own. It cannot continue to beg money from government. Yes, for development, until you become strong, you need the money. But there must be an end to that. Because otherwise, you build this mentality that the government would pay for everything. Don't worry. Whether you work or not, it doesn't make any difference. We don't want that. We don't want that to happen. People have to believe they are there to work, and if they don't work, they have no job. That dependence mentality has to be cleared out of everybody. And I told the government by 2030, we should be able to break even. Help us reach there, get us airplanes, support us in infrastructure. We are given land now to build our own, our headquarters. Will do it at the end. Ministry of Works gave us a place, beautiful place, for 10 years. I am not worried about headquarters. We need to build maintenance capability. We need a hangar where we can maintain our airplanes. We don't have it. We need a catering facility. Our passengers eat what others give us. And these people, fortunately, they are reasonable. But they can just increase overnight the price, and we have no control. We are not in control at all. Handling. We carry cargo from here. On every London flight, we carry 20 tons, 22 tons, 23 tons every day. But it comes through another company. Civil aviation controls the price, but it is out of pocket for us. So we need to build this. No airline makes money on flying passenger alone. It is a misconception.
I hope you learn, you got to know our mistakes about cargo handling, because we made. You remember NHAS? Okay. We had a problem, and I hope you are correcting it, or you've studied it.
We are working on it.
Okay.
And for your information, as of next year, third quarter of next year, we'll have the first freighter, 737 freighter, because one of our responsibilities to improve the export of this country.
Yeah.
You know, an airline is not the money that it's the important thing of an airline is not the money that it brings on its own. It's not the profitability that it brings.
Yeah.
It's being an engine for development for a nation. If we improve tourism in this country, and every criteria of expansion depends, why are we going there? Are we getting tourists from there? For example, the biggest tourist to Uganda is from UK. We are flying to UK. Next to see, when we look at the figures, Germany is next. France is number 3. So what we are trying to do is see how to really catch these markets to bring them in. Those are the things that we do. We would like to develop tourism, and that is our savior as an airline, and that is important to build the nation's economy. That is the responsibility of a national carrier. The other is...
When you're coming again to Capital Gang?
That's what I was thinking. When in about five months' time.
It should be regular, because you're not talking to us, you're talking to the country.
No, I believe in this because even in Ethiopian Airlines, that's what we are doing. And We get into a fight sometimes, and we say, look, as a national carrier, this is our responsibility, and you are not doing enough to encourage this, for example, to tourism. And then they help. We will work with the wildlife, we will work with the Ministry of Tourism, we will build it together. We will build it together, and we will make it a point that we really contribute to the growth of tourism, to the growth of export and import from this country. And Bujumbura underserved. I hear what you say. I hear loud and clear. I watch every night the full day flight. I check how many passengers it carried, how much cargo it carried, where were these passengers. For example, the day before yesterday, I was looking. There were 67 passengers out of Bujumbura coming to Entebbe. Out of that, close to 20 were going to Nairobi. There is Keki going from Bujumbura. They are coming through here. There is reason for this. I was looking at Lagos. We're carrying very poor load from Lagos. Lagos is where everybody makes money. But because our connectivity was not good, we're not getting enough. Now we improve the connectivity. We get passengers going to Lusaka, Harare, Johannesburg, Bombay.
Connectivity, convenient connectivity.
That is the way we build connectivity. That is the way we build Entebbe as a hub.
Yeah.
And when Entebbe is built as a hub, and we are lucky, civil aviation is working very closely with us. I don't know if you know this. They have now built a new terminal, an extension, which will be open soon. We talk to civil aviation, we say, give us special area. We are a national carrier. We should have a proper place in the terminal. They are willing. They are willing. Lounge. We did not have lounge. You mentioned lounge. Now they are giving us lounge, but the space they give us is very small. The moment you build the kitchen, there is no place to sit. So we went back to them and say, look, we need more. Give us more. They are trying to give us more space. We will be building. These are the infrastructures that we require when an airline takes off. But we are building at the end. But it's better to build it now than never. So we will do it.
Girma Wake, we could listen to you all day. Thank you so much for your comments on the Capital Gang.
Will they give us beer?
We have very good Ugandan beer on board.
Excellent. We're going to stop for a break, and then after the break, we'll go to that very topic of beer, that is to dispatching. I want to release Ato Girma Wake.
We're going to talk politics. So since you're a technocrat, he wants to release you. But we're inviting you for the next discussion.
I'm a commercial person. I'm the last person to understand politics.
Thank you so much. Let's stop for a break.
What if creativity had a home? Welcome to Next Creator, where creators, brands, and audiences connect. Step into the Content Hub, a space built for creators to dream, learn, and produce with state-of-the-art equipment and a virtual studio. Discover Next Influencer, the platform that vets and connects influencers to brands and delivers real results through data and reporting. Share your music with the world through Yuga Tunes, your go-to music distribution platform. And experience it all on Afro Mobile, the streaming platform that brings every story to life. From creators to audiences, from brands to stories. When we come together, creativity truly comes to life. Next Creator. Create what's next.
Kampala Serena Hotel Friday ngabiri mu mwezi guno gw'omunana. Strong Woman Live. Stronger Woman Live. Irene Namatovu wamaze okufuna tiketi yo. Baba muli batono ninga mwagala kutula ku meza. Kuba noti musanvu noti mukaga. 5 mukaga 3. 2 mwendemu. Obasasulira ku Airtel Merchant Code. Nyiga star 155 star. Mwenda hash. Merchant Code. Erinyanya 2. Nyamwenda 3 mukaga. Tereka bulungi message yo kusimu. Hati ya tiketi yo ku mulyango. Eno togeza n'odusibwa. Strong Woman Live. Irene Namatovu ku Serena Hotel. Ewagindwa.
Airtel.
I'm Dr. Lawrence, Vice Chancellor of Victoria University. Right now, the world is being rewritten, and I want to show you exactly how. Artificial intelligence has already changed how we work, how we learn, and how we live. It's not coming, it's here. And the question every parent should be asking is your child's university moving with it or being left behind? Take education. This used to be the classroom. Chalkboards, rows of desks, one voice at the front of the room. Now, this is the